Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Unchurch. This is Katie Weaver. I'm so happy to be here. For those of you that have been waiting, we're a little late this morning, and I do apologize. It is what it is sometimes around here, and today it is late. So I apologize for that, but I'm glad we're here together now. Unchurch is and has always been a gathering of like minded souls. It is intended to be something that lasts maybe 20-ish minutes, no more, not much more, so that we can get together, so that we can share some good energy on this lovely Sunday morning. I want you to know that I am certainly keeping an eye on the comments. If you would like to drop a comment or be a part of the conversation, I'll keep an eye out for that. I want to let you know, of course, pardon me, that the intent with Unchurch is simply to give you guys an opportunity to have something good to hold on to. You know, many of us, we don't necessarily go to church. We don't necessarily, go to other places, and that's okay. But what we do is we need some spiritual edification from time to time, right? We need a chance to boost. We need a chance to get together. So that's what we're doing here. So this is a gathering that is for all of us. So I thank you guys for joining me. As many of you know, it has been quite a week in my town, the case I've been covering extensively and working on for quite a while. Had a big break this week when the bodies of the children were discovered, and right here in my town. And so there's been a lot of work this week on the reporting side of it, on the energetic side of it, and on the compassion side of it. It's been an interesting journey for me and for our community, a heartbreaking one. I hope we're going to grow from it. It's too soon to say, but one thing that I've noticed that keeps coming up for me, and it's something I want to talk about a little bit today on Unchurch, is compassion. A lot of people in our town want vengeance, they want justice. Of course they do. And that should absolutely be served. But some of that need for vengeance and justice has perhaps turned in the wrong direction. And the families of the perpetrators have been harassed and mistreated and been treated in a very spiteful, mean way. These are people who have done nothing wrong. They are people whose whole world has also just come apart at the seams in recognizing finally that their parent is a murderer and other things. Uh, and yet, for some reason, like snapping dogs, I'm seeing a lot of people want to attack them and forget that compassion reigns, or it should. And I haven't been immune from that either. And I feel like this is an opportunity for us to grow as a populace in recognizing our own dark side, maybe our own need for vengeance over our ability to show compassion. I'm not asking for compassion for the people who committed this crime at all. But their family members didn't do it. Their family members didn't do anything. And I think that if anything happens in the way of growth in my community, I hope that it is that compassion and willingness to, give a hug to somebody or, some support to somebody who needs it without such a need to be mean. That's my hope. We'll see, right? Uh, that's all I want to say about that case right now. Unchurch is not about all of that, but it certainly has been at the forefront of my everything this week. So it's hard for me to steer completely away from it, and I don't really have to, I guess, but there'll be more to come on that in other places and in other ways. But let's move forward. Let's move forward with a little bit of good news. So there's always good news to be had if you just look, right? What does Gandalf say there? Or maybe it's Dumbledore. It's Dumbledore. Dumbledore says that, well, gosh, it would be good if I remember the quote. It's about turning on the light, right? There's always, you can find light in the darkest of places if only one turns on the light. And I feel like that is where it's at for me right now. I feel like that's where it's at for a lot of us right now. We're living in one weird world, aren't we? But we can turn on the light. We can expose dark places. We can continue to share love. We can continue to share compassion, and we can continue to expect this world to be bigger, better, braver, and kinder than it has been. And we can continue to create that by doing it ourselves. And I have a great reading for you today on that. A quote today for Flag Day: Martin Luther King Jr. didn't carry just a piece of cloth to symbolize his belief in racial equality. He carried the American flag. I thought that was a great quote for today, talking about Dr. King. He's at the forefront of our mind right now anyway. Okay, some good news. Dogs have been trained to sniff out COVID-19, and they have been near perfect in tests, in lab tests, sniffing out diagnosis of human sweat samples. Isn't that incredible? Dogs could know if you have COVID. Interesting. Wouldn't it be interesting to see perhaps large corporations employ dogs and handlers to scan their employees, to check them as they're coming in, or other large places, airports perhaps? I don't know. Some people may not like that, but I think it's very interesting. Okay. The first woman to walk in space just traveled to the ocean's deepest depth. She's now been to space, and she's been into the deepest depths of the ocean. What more will this person do, right? Talk about courage. Talk about a willingness to live all out, right? I thought that was just so cool. She's obviously living a big life. I absolutely love that. Her name is Dr. Kathy Sullivan. And honestly, more power to her. And what a great way to empower girls coming after her that want to shoot for the stars or the deepest depths of the ocean, or hell, why not both, right? Okay. I have been talking a lot about hobbies lately, that everybody needs to have some hobbies, that you need to have some projects, some things they're working on. It's really important during times like this. And there's a new study that just came out that says that taking up hobbies can prevent or reduce symptoms of depression by 1/3. So more power to us, right? And if you don't have a hobby, get one. Go wander around a craft store until something grabs your eye. Go play on Pinterest until you find something you want to try to make. It doesn't have to look like the magazine cover. You don't even have to do a good job. It's just doing something. Yesterday, my sister Christy showed me that she had just purchased a ukulele, but she's always wanted to learn a string instrument and decided now's the time. So she's going to learn how to play it. And I suspect she will, and she'll do great. Again, hobbies. Hobbies. Very important. What have you wanted to do? The cool thing right now is that if there's something that you want to do, you can learn how to do it. And the internet is right here, ready and willing to teach you anything that you want to know, right? There's a lot of trainings and tutorials out there. So if there's something you've been thinking about doing, now's the time. If you want to learn how to paint, if you want to learn how to sing, if you want to learn how to cook, if you just want to start updating your home or crafting, or maybe you want to tear down a wall, get a little guidance with that. But do something that's fun, that's interesting, that edifies you, and that has nothing to do with the internet. I mean, you'll use the internet to learn how to do it, but we all need more breaks from the internet. We all need more breaks from bad news. We all need more breaks from the chaos swirling around. And hobbies really help you to do that. Okay. PayPal has committed over $500 million to support minority-owned U.S. businesses. Wow. Go PayPal. There is a teen that worked for 10 hours after a protest cleaning up the city. That teen received a car and a scholarship as a thank you for their efforts. Isn't that something? All that kid did is recognize what needed to be done and invested themselves in doing it. That's all. But others recognized their effort and paid them back in spades. I thought that was really sweet. Okay. There is a brand new lung cancer drug that is being noted as having overwhelming efficacy. Yale PhD calls it transformative. Just maybe we're going to see some breakthroughs here in the next year or two in more cancer treatments. Let's hope. Okay. Well, there's lots more good news. All of that good news came from the Good News Network. And I highly recommend that you look up some good news from time to time, especially when you're feeling like you need some, you know? That's a good thing to do. And sometimes we definitely all need a little bit of help finding some good news and something to smile about. I also love comedy. I really love comedy. I'm sure I've shared that with you guys before, but I listen to comedy every single day. I do. I listen to comedy in the shower. I listen to comedy while I'm getting ready for the day. Sometimes I listen to comedy while I'm doing the dishes or other chores. Why? Because I like the way it raises my frequency. Period. Now, maybe comedy's not your jam. Maybe it's something else, but using the media that's available to us to raise our frequency is really important, and the tools are there for us. Just thinking about that. I'd be interested to know what comedians you guys listen to, if you do listen, because, well, I love them. Recently, I've been listening to a lot of Leanne Morgan. I don't know if you guys are familiar with her. She is a Southern lady, an older lady, and she is hilarious. Love her. But it's always someone new. Kathleen Madigan, sorry, has been on my list for a long time too, along with lots others. I usually go to Pandora. That way I can hear bits from a lot of different people, but John Mulaney is one of my favorites too. But anyway, if you're thinking about something to make you smile, look for some comedy. You might find something there that helps to lift your vibe too. You know, there's a kind of yoga called laughter yoga. It's not really yoga, it's more about laughter. Uh, the practice of laughter yoga actually didn't resonate with me so much, but the idea of laughter as an energetic tool resonated with me a whole lot. And the idea that we should be using amusement, joy, laughter, mirth as a way to raise our frequency and help us to just feel more like ourselves resonates with me a whole lot. So, my challenge for you guys is to find something that brings that kind of joy to you. And maybe it's an uplifting speaker. That's okay too. Find something that you listen to or engage in every day that helps to raise you up. One thing I've been hearing from a lot of people recently is that they're having a hard time settling down, unplugging, and meditating. I've heard that a lot, which makes me think it's probably something that we should address and talk about. Because here's what we know: even 15 minutes a day of meditation grounds you, calms you, lowers your blood pressure, and increases your intuition, right? Who wouldn't want all of those things? And yet, in the whirlwind world that we're in right now, a lot of people are having a really hard time doing it, finding that time, shutting everything down, and doing it. My suggestion to you is that you go to YouTube and you look up binaural beats. Binaural beats. And find something. There's gazillions of them. And you'll find one that resonates with you. Binaural beats are best listened to with a headset because different things happen on both sides of your ears or in each ear. So you need to have a headset to get the full effect. But you'll find binaural beat meditations for everything you can think of. Find one that looks interesting to you and do it. And then do it again tomorrow, or look for a different one for tomorrow or whatever. But I really recommend starting there if you're having a hard time getting back to that practice or creating that practice, because it will help you to lower your high intensity. We are all in this like ready to strike mode at all times right now. We've all been thrown into survival mode. So it is hard to unplug and step away. It is hard. to give ourselves permission to relax. This is an opportunity, but binaural beats really help you to shift your frequency quick. So that's why I'm suggesting that. But see what you can do with that. If you could give yourself back that 15 minutes a day of meditation, or more if you want, but 15 minutes is okay, it's good enough. You might just find that you feel more connected to your spirit. You may find that you sleep better. You may find that you think better. And overall, you may find that your intuition is much more connected than it has been here in the last little while. Survival mode sucks. It really does. Okay. I had a reading for you today that I wanted to share about daring. Daring. We live in a world that wants to tell us exactly who we're supposed to be, exactly what we're supposed to do, exactly what we're supposed to think, what we're supposed to feel, how we are supposed to respond. It's taking away our truth. It's taking away our clarity. And more than anything, it's taking away our own ability to dare to do what is right for us. You see it at every level, you know? You have an opinion that's different than other people around you. People feel like they have the right at this point in our society to attack and be cruel and unkind. You feel like you want to do things a way that's different from the norm. People have no hesitation, right? Jumping on that. There's a lot of mean-spiritedness and judgy stuff in the stratosphere right now. So how do we get away from it and do what's right for us? My mom was of the school of thought, that I do what I want when I want. And she did. And I learned that from her. It doesn't mean she didn't go to school and show up on time. She was a teacher and, live up to her obligations. Of course she did. But she also did things her way. And that idea that I do what I want when I want has always been my theory too. And I do. Ask my kids. They know. But at any rate, I think it's really important for you to get a little of that sass, right? A little of that do what you want when you want. We have to let go of being too judged. We have to let go of being too afraid of what other people are going to think of our decisions. We have to give ourselves permission to do some of the things that we want to do. And so, with that in mind, I want to read you this poem. This is from Steve Maraboli from the book called Life, the Truth, and Being Free. And Steve says, dare to be. When a new day begins, dare to smile gratefully. When there is darkness, dare to be the first to shine a light. When there is injustice, dare to be the first to condemn it. When something seems difficult, dare to do it anyway. When life seems to beat you down, dare to fight back. When there seems to be no hope, dare to find some. When you're feeling tired, dare to keep going. When times are tough, dare to be tougher. When love hurts you, dare to love again. When someone is hurting, dare to help them heal. When another is lost, dare to help them find the way. When a friend falls, dare to be the one to extend a hand. When you cross paths with another, dare to make them smile. When you feel great, dare to help someone else feel great too. When the day has ended, dare to feel as you've done your best. Dare to be the best you can. At all times, dare to be. And I don't know about you guys, but that resonated deeply with me. And I thought, maybe if we could all dare to do a little more like that, we could shine a lot more light in this world. But on top of that, we need to be willing to support the darers, right? We need to be willing to be their guard, to be their defense. When someone dares to be that person, Perhaps we should dare to allow it and to listen, to not judge. I think that there's so much that we can learn from watching each other. There's so much we can learn from laying down our need to be right, our need to pick apart why people do what they do. If we could lay down our need to constantly be in defense of ourselves and listen, what a world would we live in? For me this week, I want to dare to listen. I want to dare to allow my own beliefs to be challenged. I want to dare to show compassion where there is none. I want to dare myself to be kind. Those are my own challenges. And maybe you've got your own, but that's what I've been thinking about. Well, we've done it. We have filled our time. I want to thank you guys for joining me. I want to let you know that you can find me if you would like more information about me and the work that I do over at www.katie-weaver.com. Thanks you guys so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. Take care.